Hello, welcome to my 2025 Reading Wrapped. Today I will be talking about all the books that I read in 2025 and rating them. And I read around 40 books, so let's get started. I started off the year kind of badly with Dance of Thieves and Will of Thieves. It was a very boring book series and it was not interesting. I lost interest in it pretty fast and I didn't really care for the characters and what they were doing. I mean, it wasn't that bad, so I'd give it like 2.5 stars, but yeah, I read the first one fully, but then the second one kind of gave up towards the end, but I read most of it, so I'll count it, and I'll probably finish it, like, right now. So, yeah, it wasn't that bad, but I lost interest. And then the next thing I read was Percy Jackson, Wrath of Triple Goddesses, and it was great, as always, because it's Rick Riordan, Percy Jackson. They're all amazing, if you know me. So, yeah, that was 5 stars, of course. And then I read The Good Girl's Guide to Murder. I've already read this. Well, I read the first and second book, and I wanted to read the third book, but I forgot everything from the first and second. So I just decided to reread the entire series, and as always, it's great. Holly Jackson is amazing, and I'd give it 5 stars. And then the next thing I, reread again was Keeper of Lost Cities, Lodestar, and Nightfall. So I mainly just reread this so that I could read the new book that came out. I've been reading the series since like 4th grade, 8 years ago or something like that. So I'm kind of committed to it. And the first few books that she wrote, like towards the beginning, and maybe I was just younger, it was just way better than the upcoming ones that she's writing. It just got repetitive and boring and has too many plot holes, but I'm too into it now, so. And speaking of the new ones, Stellan and Unraveled, they were alright. These ones I'd say were 5 stars, 4 stars, probably 5 stars. These were like 4-ish, yeah. And then the next thing I read was Spectacular by Stephanie Garber, which was part of the Caraval series, and it was very good as always, like the Caraval series, and it was just a short novella that I read. I would give it 5 stars, 4.5 stars probably. Yeah, it was pretty good. And then for school, I read The Great Gatsby, and I read The Things They Carried. The Great Gatsby was pretty good, I guess, like 3.5 stars. It was a school book, so yeah. And The Things They Carried was horrible. I would give it like 2 stars, probably less, but I can't say because I didn't finish it, so I'll just say 2 stars. And then the next thing I read was, again, reread, was the Unwanted series. I read it when I was in like middle or elementary school or some, like probably 5th grade, and it was great then and it was still great now. I love it. The world is amazing. It feels so nostalgic and I love the characters. There's technically a second series. I don't know if I'll read that because I know one of the characters I like dies, so I don't really feel like reading that anymore. But this was amazing. 4 stars for all the books. Actually, probably 5 stars for all the books. Definitely a big 5 stars for the last book because I'm sad it's done now. You know, I might just reread it now because it was amazing. It's one of my favorites. And then I read Better Than the Movies and Nothing Like the Movies. It was alright. It was like 3.5 stars. It was a rom-com. Usually, like, rom-coms are either really good or eh. And this was, like, in the middle. So, yeah. And then I read Fearless. Fearless was part of the Powerless series by Lauren Roberts, and it was pretty good. I liked it. I liked the whole series. It's kind of a ripoff for Red Queen, like I said in my past videos, and actually it's a complete ripoff of Red Queen and what was it? Hunger Games and all of those, but it's alright. It's better than the previous books in the series. What was it? Reckless? Yeah. So I liked it better. It was more plot focused, fantasy focused than the romance, which was alright. So yeah. Next I read Frankenstein. Frankenstein was pretty good. I liked it. And I would give it 4.5 stars. It was one of my favorite classics that I've read. Anna Green Gables. I'm applying to college this year, and one of the prompt was to write about a book series that you read when you were in middle school. Technically, I read this in elementary, but yeah, I reread the book just to write the essay, and it's 5 stars, great as always. I love Anne. Yeah. And I did start watching Annie with an E, or whatever the TV show is called. The book is obviously 100 times better, and the series is kind of boring, so I didn't finish it. And then the next one I read is also a classic, Pride and Prejudice. It was alright. It was one of the classics that I didn't like as much as the others. So I'd give it like 3 stars because I kind of got bored of it and I didn't really care for the characters. But the next one I read was Red, White, and Royal Blue, which was alright. It was another like romance book, which I don't really read much of those, so I don't like them as much. But it was alright until the end. I only liked it in the beginning when they didn't like each other that much. And then Not Quite Dead Yet. It's a really good book. It's by Holly Jackson, the same one that made Good Girls Guide to Murder. It's her newest book that came out in 2025, and it's amazing. You should read it if you're a fan of Holly Jackson and you've read the other ones like I have, like Good Girls Guide to Murder, Reappearance of Rachel Price, Five Survive, Killjoy. Yeah. And then the next one I read was Sunrise on the Reaping, which is the newest Hunger Games book that Suzanne Collins wrote. I think the movie's coming out in 2026, and I'm very excited for that. But the book was great. I didn't like the Ballad of Songbirds and Snakes, which was the last book that she wrote in 2023 or 2024 or 2022. I don't remember, but that book was kind of bad. But this one is amazing. It follows Haymitch's story when he was in the Hunger Games. And I recommend it if you've read Hunger Games. And then the next book I've read is, or series that I've read is One of Us is Lying. I've already read the first book a long time ago. I don't remember when, or maybe it wasn't that long ago. But I wanted to read the next 2 books because my friend gave it to me. And I had to reread the first one because I kind of forgot what happened. And it was a great series. I would give them all 4 stars. Maybe the last one I'd give 5 stars. Yeah, it was pretty good. If you like mystery, if you like Good Girls Guide to Murder, you should read it. And then this is a random book I like read just for fun. It's like a comic that I read when I was younger, graphic novel. I actually have the book. Basically, the reason why I read it is because I remember reading this when I was like in 3rd grade or something. And then I was randomly scrolling on Instagram and I saw this book and I saw the person talk about these 2 books. And I didn't know that this was a series, so I decided to just read it for fun, light reading. Yeah, I'd give them all 4 or 5 stars, yeah. And then this book, The Monsoon Rising, I'm technically not fully done with it. It's like the first book is called Hurricane Wars, which I read 2 years ago, I think. But so far, Monsoon Rising is pretty good. I like the characters. It's fine. It's I can't say fully because I haven't finished it, but I'm halfway through. I'm reading it as an audiobook. Yeah, pretty good. And Dracula, I didn't fully finish it because the book went away in Libby, but I really want to, and so far it's pretty good. So yeah, I got a bit confused in the middle, so I had to spark note some of it, but it's pretty good. So that's the 40-ish books I read this year. I think it was like 37 maybe. And then next year, these are some of the books I'm going to read and reread. So I have the book here, but the new book that Rick Riordan wrote was A Court of the Dead or something like that. I started reading it, but I'm only like 2 chapters through, so I didn't include it in this series. And it's alright. Rick Riordan is great as ever, but I feel like he forgot who the characters are, like what their personality is, because from the first chapter, if you've already read it, it does not seem realistic. It follows Nico and Will, and Nico is this like emo, like little teenager, and I don't think it follows his personality as it was written in the previous books, and I think he forgot what he is like, so that's the one Rick Riordan book so far that I don't like, but I've only read like one chapter of it, but I've heard a lot of reviews, so yeah. And then I'm rereading the Caraval series because I got the book set for Christmas. I've already read this since I read the spectacular book that I was reviewing earlier, but it's amazing as always. An unpopular opinion, I like the Caraval series better than Once Upon a Broken Heart, even though everybody loves Once Upon a Broken Heart for some reason. And then I'm rereading the Natural series, which is a great mystery series. Again, like Good Girls Guide to Murder. And yeah, it's amazing. I've already read it, but I got the book set, so I'm rereading it. And it's one of my favorite books of all time. And then I've also just started And Then There Were None by Agatha Christie. So yeah, Agatha Christie, I read one of her books last year, so I'm excited to read this one. It's a mystery book, again, like most of the books I read this year. And then there's another book, I think it's like a romance book, I'm not really sure. I know it is, but it's called Deep End by Ali Hazelwood. I read one of her other books, Check and Mate, like 2 years ago, so I'm definitely gonna read this one, but I might read it. I'm not still like sure about it, but yeah. So these are the books that I've read this year, and yeah, thank you for watching if you watched it, and